Hi. Okay, so we're back for part two of our conversation on routine. And there's just two things that I didn't actually mention in the first section. So I wanted to just reiterate a little bit about the value of building personal insight. Really, um, once you've built personal insight, you're able to adapt and adjust and even strengthen the day to day routine to really support yourself. I talked about self advocacy, and that's so important, but also just using your knowledge to help heal, to help do what is best for you. That's huge. And as part of that, your friends and family and the people around you will also be able to benefit and sort of become a team supporting you in your recovery. And I've had two really powerful examples of that in my own recent journey, where friends and family have caught on to one, my efforts to limit screen time, and also my need for an afternoon rest period. So what happened is that I started utilizing voice applications to send messages, and now friends and family use the same application to respond to me, and even sometimes in group conversations, rather than a bunch of text messages back and forth, there'll be a series of voice messages, and everybody just listens and responds, and it's fantastic. The other thing is that my afternoon nap time, sometimes I'm a little bit stubborn and I want to keep going with whatever I'm doing. And people started to actually stop and say, hey, Kate, it's 2 o'clock. This can wait. You need your rest. And at first I was a little not sure how to take that because I'm a little bit stubborn and a little bit independent. But I actually was very grateful, and it feels good when people um, hold you. So building that insight and creating a routine gives other people the opportunity to help by supporting you. So it's lovely. And finally, when you're in your recovery, it probably feels like it's never going to end. It feels like you're never going to get better, but you will. And when you do, you'll return to your more regular routine. And so by maintaining a routine and creating one that fits you now, you can incrementally increase your expectations so that going back to those higher expectations from before won't be such a shock to the system. Often what happens is that we get physically better and we return to work, and then or day-to-day life status quo, and then we crash because we weren't quite ready. Our energy just wasn't quite there. So last 2 points. Now what I'd like to do is I would like to offer you a little bit of structure, some suggestions on what types of things to include in your routine. The first thing is rest. I'd like you to think about rest as sort of the bookends of your day. So what are the best sleep and wake times for you? And this is the first time where you might check in with yourself and realize, oh, I'm not actually doing what's best for me right now. When do you feel the best? How much sleep do you really think you need? And at what times of day work best for you to sleep and wake? That's the start. And then from there, you think about other elements of rest. Do you need to have any sort of nap or quiet time or meditation or time in nature in your day? So start by structuring your rest times. From there, looking at nutrition and hydration. First, ask yourself if you're giving yourself what you need to be nourished. Are you supporting your body's recovery by giving it the proper fuels? Healthy food, limiting sugar and junk, drinking enough water and fluids that hydrate you, and maybe trying to monitor how much caffeine and alcohol and things like that you're drinking. And are you taking your food and your fluids in on a regular and consistent basis? My guess would be for a lot of people, this is another checkpoint, because when we're not well, we either eat more than we should, or we eat more convenience foods because we're tired and we don't want to do meal prep, or we skip meals, or we forget to drink water. We do a lot of kind of silly self-sabotaging things. So by creating checkpoints in your day, moments in your day where you are reminding yourself that it's time to eat either a small meal or a snack, maybe making sure you have a few healthy choices in the home, looking at your water, looking at maybe drinking herbal teas or non-caffeinated beverages, just so that you are being a little bit more mindful of your body's needs. Another one is movement, and I recognize that movement may seem like something that's really unattainable or not an option for you at the moment, but in all of our days, movement is possible. So for some, it may mean very gently, just mindfully swishing the fingers, the toes, the face. Maybe even be asking somebody else when we're interacting with them if they will assist us with a little bit of movement. Or it may just be about gently looking at ourselves and asking us, what can we do? A little walk up and down the hall, a little shift around the bedroom, maybe just getting up and opening a window for some fresh air. It doesn't have to be profound, but look at your day and find movement and schedule it so that each day you can ask yourself, what is available to me today, and am I going to do it? And then in the next day, maybe can I do just a little bit more? Connection. Connection is so important. We're social creatures, whether we think we are or not. And healing is a very often lonely, frustrating, difficult time. But isolation makes it harder, and we often self-isolate, not on purpose, but as kind of just part of the emotional reaction to this unexpected period of recovery. And connection can be healing. It can help us stay off the depression and the sadness, and it can even really just help kind of bring life into the house when you're feeling low. So it could be friends and family. It could just be somebody out in the street. Take a chair and sit on your front porch. Make a phone call. Ask friends to write you a little letter every once in a while. It could be any number of things. But look each day for a little bit of connection. Productivity is another one that may seem laughable at the moment, but it's really powerful for your mental health to feel that each day you've accomplished at least one small thing. And some days this could just be brainstorming or writing a list about things that you want to do on other days. And some days you may be able to, do a lot and feel really, really quite excited. The key is trying to do at least one small thing and then finding the pace that is manageable for you so you're not exhausting yourself. And finally, pleasure. Being off at home trying to recover, it's not a vacation. And I've had people have to remind me of this and explain this to me many times before it really sunk in for me. It's not a vacation. It is not pleasure. We know that. And so you've got to look for a way to bring some pleasure into your day. And you may have to get creative. You may have to explore, because the things that you used to do for pleasure might not be available right now. So, finding a sunshiny corner to drink your tea, or, having your children come into the bedroom at the end of the day to read a story together, putting extra bubbles in your bubble bath. There's so many possibilities, but be creative, look for suggestions, experiment things that you never thought you had an interest in before. and just seek it out, because pleasure is so very important, and it's often the thing that we most are missing when we're not well. So those are my kind of loose framework for a routine. And I just want to leave it there. I want to really encourage you to sit with it and get that journal out and that piece of paper out, and start with brainstorming what works for you, and keep it close. Refer to it regularly. Start building a habit of following that written routine, and changing and adapting what works for you as you heal. So I hope some of this was helpful to you, and I look forward to more conversations. If this was helpful, or if you'd like notifications about upcoming videos, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you think other friends and family would benefit from joining us, please share with them. We'll see you again.